Heather and everybody else in here from Geeks Rising. Bam. So I see a Bandrew and I see a Heather Welch. Hello and welcome to the live stream for the Cure. Are we doing jazz hands or spirit fingers? Welcome, guys. Hello, 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 hello. This is my first opportunity to share a microphone with the amazing Bandrew Scott and Heather. Of course, I absolutely adore because she's the most wonderful person, literally, on the entire planet. So, guys, please, can you take a moment and tell us a little bit about the Geeks Rising Network, about your individual shows, and what you guys do?
Absolutely. Geeks Rising is a podcast network with a bunch of podcasts that cover educational and awareness based shows. I do a show called the Bandrew Says Podcast. Surprise, surprise. My name is Bandrew and I say stuff. And I discuss creator news and talk about how it affects creators. So hopefully people don't run around with their hair on fire. Maybe bring a little bit of sanity to the discussion as opposed to just outrage, I hope.
It's an amazing network to be part of. I've been part of it for just over a year. So, yeah, thank you for having me.
Oh, so, um, God, Heather's just a floating head.
I am. That's my background. It's great. Keep it
That's
up.
amazing.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord! That's absolutely amazing. So I know that you guys have a lot, and I mean, eldest, the eldest bro, $50. Thank you very very much. Cancer does not please the bro. Thank you very very much for that $50 donation. 7630. I am blown away. I'm so blown away this year. I'm gonna have a good cry when this is all over. I'm telling you. But I know you guys have a lot of amazing content planned. I know you guys have a lot of amazing stuff. So I'm gonna get out of your hair, and I will be back into pipe in when I need to be. And you guys do your thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, as we said, thank you so much for having us for this live stream for the cure. I'm so grateful to have Bandrew here this time with me. It's nice to share it and not that I was by myself last time because I had Nick, but it's nice to have a co-host. And um, yeah, as we mentioned, we've got all of Geeks Rising helping today, so it'd be good to hear from them. Um, and yes, I'll list my new mic. But anyway, without further ado, let's welcome you to the Geeks Rising podcastathon for live stream for the cure.
Here comes the money. Here we go. I won! Here comes the money.
So good to have you here, Bandrew. Welcome to Live Stream for the Cure 2020. How are you feeling about today's event?
I am ready to rock and roll. I am so excited to be here and help raise money for cancer research because cancer can suck it. Cancer can
Absolutely.
suck it.
Absolutely. I am super proud to be involved this time for the third time round. This one's extra special having Geeks Rising here. Geeks Rising is made up of passionate people geeking out about their topic of interest, but like Geeks Rising live stream for the cure brings together lots of passionate people. There's been amazing podcasters already be a part of the event, and there's more to come. So definitely stick around and enjoy all of that goodness. But to help us with raising funds for the Cancer Research Institute, we've got the phone lines are ready to take your calls. That is one special looking telephone you have there. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. This is a very special phone. It's Bell Systems property. And actually, it is not for sale. It's not a for sale phone. So Bell Systems, if you still exist, which I'm not quite sure you do, please don't come after me. I acquired this through completely legal means. Thank you, Bell Systems. And I am kind of known for reviews. Maybe I should give a review for it.
Absolutely.
It's beige. It clicks. It clacks. It does a little bit of this, and it makes calls. And it's built like a tank. This thing is probably 60 years old, so 9 out of 10 would recommend. Audio quality, not quite perfect, so that's why I'm docking it a point. 9 out of 10. Bell Systems, could have done better.
Question for everybody, for you. Did it come with a cable? Like, what else did it come with?
It's sadly no cable, so it may not be the most effective, but maybe I should give people the phone number so they can call in.
Absolutely.
And then they can they'll let us know if they know what it is. It's let me look. 555-2368. 555-2368. One more time. 555-2368.
Who are you gonna?
Yeah. Who are you gonna call?
I remember having a rotary dial phone when I was a kid, and it was really exciting when I got to use it for the first time. And I'm pretty sure I let it sort of ring all the way out before I rung on the next number.
Yeah, I got really good at dialing on these where I wouldn't even need to let it get all the way back to the original position before I dialed the next number. It's pretty impressive now that I think about it, because there's no way in heck that I could do that now.
Luckily, with the new phones, I've got Bluetooth technology or whatever, so it's connected to my phone. Don't need a cable. But we've got the whole, like we said earlier, we've got the whole Geeks Rising crew here tonight. The members are pretty amazing. They are passionate, knowledgeable people, and I would love for you to tell us a little bit about who each of us are.
Absolutely. We have Logan, Zach, and Malcolm, who all co-host a show called On the Subject, where they discuss films, they review films, they analyze films, and currently they are on a series where they ask if a certain film is cinema. They ask the collegiate level questions, if I may. We also have Heather. Don't know if you've heard of her. Pretty great person. She hosts Sunshine and Powercuts, where she documents her off-the-grid journey. She reminds us to reconnect to nature and to celebrate our connections. Then we have this dopey weirdo named Bandrew, who hosts the Bandrew Says Podcast, talks about creator news, does all that stuff. And lastly, we have Ben, who hosts the Tourette's Podcast, where he interviews fellow folks with TS and talks about their experience with it, what their life is like, and just tries to educate and inform and bring awareness to it. And it is an absolutely amazing show that he does. So if you want to learn more about any of those, you can find that at geeksrising.com. And right now is actually Tourette's Awareness Month. So more reason to check that out. Goes through June 15th. Learn a little bit about it, spread it around, spread awareness and education. Absolutely amazing shows that I'm honored to be a part of.
And speaking of Ben, please welcome Ben Brown, host of Tourette's Podcast. What have you got for us, Ben?
Here comes the money. Here we go.
Hey, this is Ben from Tourette's Podcast, happily part of the Geeks Rising network. If you've never heard this podcast before, it's about Tourette syndrome, yeah, but not in some insider clubhouse kind of way. Like, having Tourette syndrome is not a prerequisite for listening. Tourette's Podcast is about difficult life experiences and how we deal with them. Yes, each guest has Tourette syndrome, as do I, and that makes for a pretty rare production, actually, because you get to hear the real thing without producer sensationalism. True stories that frankly don't need hype. Because the features of Tourette syndrome, like vocal ticking, the abrupt bodily motions, and so on, are totally involuntary. They end up being kind of a point of relatability. Like, how do we negotiate with socially awkward things we can't control? Things we're hugely self-conscious about. How do we own it? That's stuff we can all relate to, and that's an interesting question to me, and something we talk about on each episode.
Oh, it was massive embarrassment. I didn't want to even acknowledge it. It's not something I really talk to anybody about.
So I went from being this very quiet person who likes to blend into the background and don't like attention and anything like that, to just having these uncontrollable jerking movements, barking. And I found that really difficult to adapt to.
I don't know what is me and what is the Tourette's.
I would avoid going outside and hiding in my room, because I very literally did hide in my room. I hid for a year in my room.
I hit my pen against the desk and broke it. And then my teacher brought me over an extra pen. Then I broke that one. My teacher brought me over another extra pen. Then I broke that one.
Rather than overcome, I think, like I said, it'll wax and wane, but it'll be something I'll live with. So I'm just been learning to manage that best I can.
That was really true to my experience. And that was sort of a cathartic moment.
So I got to a point where I realized, you know what? This is what's going to basically save me in my life.
Head to geeksrising.com for more. And while I have you, there's something I'd love for you to do. Record a voice memo on your phone, or if you have a podcast mic, you can do it there too. Record yourself telling me about an involuntary factor of your life that comes off a little awkward or hard to explain to people. We all have them, and what I like is that by talking about them and being vulnerable, hopefully it inspires other people to see their own insecurities as less of a big deal. Because we're talking about them, finding ways to relate and getting through it. That's what we do on Tourette's Podcast. So record something and send it to tourettespodcast@gmail.com, and I'll play it on the show. On a personal note, I'm so happy that Tourette's Podcast is part of Geeks Rising, and that it's the kind of network that really does care about progress and positive outcomes and connections. Hence this live stream you're listening to right now. My dad, who's my hero, is beating cancer for the second time as we speak. 2 different kinds of cancer, one of which was a really aggressive form, and it could not have been treated in the way it was without research put into action. It's saving my dad's life, and I don't want to see anyone else around me or around you have to go through a battle with cancer. It's heavy, but amazing advancements are being made. Just want to thank Geeks Rising for taking the initiative and care, and thanks to the Cancer Research Institute for working toward the dream. Thanks, everybody. This is Ben from Tourette's Podcast.
So guys, it has been absolutely raining donations in here while you guys were doing the opening and throughout the Tourette's clip. I just want to shout out Interrupted Tales, $25 donation, Chris Yaney, $42 donation, our very own God of Podcasting, Loy Sauce, a $100 donation, 2Ps on a Podcast, Gerald, $10 donation, and Derek from Rolling Misadventures, $25 donation. Guys, we're almost at $8,000.
Wow, thank you so much. That's amazing. We just thank you to everybody. We really appreciate it. We had some questions in the chat also for Bandrew. How is the phone for singing into and also testing acoustic and electric guitar?
The phone does not work that well for singing or recording. I don't know if you've seen this. They actually do have some modified, I almost called it a cell phone receiver, a telephone receiver, to send out an XLR. So you're actually able to get that telephone sound just by plugging into an interface. So I may have to pick one of those up and test it out. But yeah, probably not the best option if you're looking for fidelity, because telephones only pick up between maybe 300 and 3000 hertz. So not the best sounding device that you're going to find.
Cool. Thank you for that. And back to Ben's segment. Zach is in the chat. So hey, Zach, so cool that you're here in the live chat, and everybody else as well. But he said that Tourette's Podcast is amazing. Ben is amazing. And this is live stream for the cure is for people like Ben's dad and for everyone, so that we don't have to share the stories of the people we lose to cancer. 100%. But Tourette syndrome is something that I didn't really know anything about before listening to Ben's show, because I hadn't had any experience with it. Midori Pro's got teal nails for Tourette Awareness Month, which is really cool. Thank you, Midori Pro. And I found it really helpful listening to Ben's show, hearing the stories and learning from their experiences. How about you?
Yeah, so prior to meeting Ben and getting to know Ben, I don't know if I had known anybody with TS. I may have, I just wasn't aware of it. I did watch a YouTube channel with the host Ethan Klein. He's the host of, what is it, H3H3 Productions, and he has Tourette's. So that started to make me more aware of it. And prior to that, I had only maybe watched some comedic videos in the past about TS, and now I realize that's really not very appropriate or kind to laugh at and giggle at. And Ben's show has helped me really understand that. And the best thing about meeting Ben is just finding such a good friend that I can geek out about audio gear and punk music and get really, really obscure punk references or really obscure punk recommendations on CDs to pick up. And they're so good. So that's been the best thing about getting to know Ben. But just learning more about TS has been amazing and enlightening.
Absolutely. And as we heard, Ben is taking calls for his show. So he's happy to have your voicemail messages if you'd like to. Tourette'sPodcast.com, where you can figure out how to leave a message for him. It's been awesome hearing them on season 5 of the podcast. They've been an added bonus, and it's really like bringing that sense of community together, hearing from the people who listen to Tourette's podcast. Just awesome folks that want to call in. Speaking of phone calls, how are the phones looking there, Bandrew?
As I alluded to, old and beige. They're old and beige, and like I said, kind of embarrassing, but there's no cable. There's no wire. I don't even think I have a landline anymore. I can't even get service for this thing, so I don't know how useful it's going to be. I don't know. Sorry if anybody's been trying to call. It's awkward, I guess. Sorry. Ooh.
Thanks to everyone who made the donations before. You guys are awesome. Logan's in the chat too. He said that Ben's so wonderful in his voice, and his voice. So glad we're blessed to hear that amazing voice. We're
Agreed.
gonna hear from everyone, which is really cool. And I was saying before that cancer is really important. I've lost people, friends and family to cancer. The feeling of that loss is huge, and they leave behind their love and the memories that we have of them. But here's to a future where we're still making memories and still loving them.
Mhm.
Have you got an experience that you wanted to share, Bandrew?
Yeah, and throughout my life, I've had a few family members who have been affected by cancer and suffered through cancer. In high school, I remember the day very clearly where we got a call. I was in marching band, symphonic band, orchestra, choir, all of the stuff, and we got a call over the loudspeaker to go to the band room. And I don't know what it was, but everybody had the sense of dread, and we were informed that our band director had passed away from cancer because he'd been battling it for a few years. But maybe 2 weeks earlier, we'd been told that everything was on the up and up. He was improving, and then we just got that call, and it was devastating. And then in college, one of my friends from high school passed away from a brain tumor from brain cancer. So it's been I've unfortunately had a few experiences with cancer, and we need to do what we can to put a stop to it because, as I said, cancer sucks, and the world would be better if all those people were still here. So we got to do what we can.
And for those of you who are tuning in tonight, Malcolm said cancer something, and I lost his comment. Screw cancer. Thanks for doing this.
And he also said that he loves you guys.
Aw,
And we
really?
love you. And very eloquently put. Cancer sucks.
We did have
I love it.
another 3 donations come in to the thing here. So I'm just waiting for the ticker to figure out what it's doing here. I think this thing is like trying to break on me or something. I don't know exactly what it's doing, but another one. 2 girls on a bench, $10. Love to Heather. Newsreel donated $65. They came for Bandrew. They're staying for Heather. In Session Film Podcast donated $20. Thank you so much, JD and Brendan. And Liberty Dude, $17.75, $10 donation. Geeks Rising Love. Thank you guys all so much, guys. We are $63 away from $8,000.
Wow.
Moly.
Oh my goodness gracious. That is insane. Thank you all so much. That's amazing.
Yeah, that is huge. Well, thank you for the review of the donations that have come in. You are known for doing reviews, but we also have other members that do reviews, Bandrew.
Yes, we do. We have On the Subject. As I mentioned, they do reviews of movies, and we have an amazing short review from Zach and Malcolm of the MCU, which is the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So let's go ahead and hear from them.
In association with the Geeks Rising Network, this is On the Subject. I'm Malcolm.
I'm Zach.
And today we're going to be giving you a little sample of what our podcast is like. On our podcast, we review franchises. We review movies in general, but specifically franchises. Looking at the ongoing saga of the franchise and how a movie can change with a franchise and how a world can change with a franchise. And so we're going to tackle one of the largest franchises today for you in real quick, bite-sized bits, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Zach, where do we start off with?
This is a $22.5 billion franchise. And we're starting off with Iron Man 1, which is a great way to kick off the MCU. It's fun all around.
Incredible Hulk is next. Love Edward Norton. First hints of Captain America stuff, but too bad that Edward Norton is a bit of a crazy person.
After that is Iron Man 2. It's kind of a mess, but it's still fun, and plus you get Sam Rockwell and Don Cheadle.
Yeah. After that, we have Thor in 2011. It's a solid intro to Thor, but boy, that's really a big coming out party for Tom Hiddleston. He rocks.
He's the GOAT. And like that.
He's the GOAT.
Then after that, we have Captain America, First Avenger. What's not to love? You got Joe Johnson directing. You got Chris Evans, Stanley Tucci, and plus it's just got so much heart. All of it.
All of it. It's so good. After that leads right into Avengers in 2012. It's literally a cinematic event unlike anything seen before it. It's got a long second act, but it's still a pretty great movie.
And then with the start of the next phase, we have Iron Man 3, and I think it's just the best all around, so deal with it. It's got a great twist.
Agreed.
I love the humor.
It's perfect. After that, we get Thor: The Dark World. It's a terrible title. It's a lame villain. It's a boring movie, but it's sometimes pretty.
And then after that, we have one of the most popular, which is Guardians of the Galaxy, which I like. I know Malcolm doesn't love.
Yeah, you guys already know that movie because your mom likes the soundtrack and the Pratt Boy.
But I think it's a ton of fun. And just like most MCU, it's got a weak villain, but it's also got a raccoon. It's weird.
After that, we have Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron. It's super meh, but James Spader as Ultron slaps. And Paul Bettany as the Vision slaps.
Yeah, got no strings.
Got no strings on me.
Then after that, we get Ant-Man with Paul Rudd. Also, that one's just fun all around. Also, he gets small, and Michael Pena steals the show.
It's so good. After that, we have Captain America Civil War. I think one of the unsung heroes of the franchise. What else could I say but Longing, Rusted, 17, Daybreak, Furnace, 9, Benign, Homecoming, 1, Freight Car.
Following that, we have Doctor Strange. It's like Iron Man, but with magic and somehow less interesting.
It's the worst. No, I'm sorry. It's not the worst. The next one is the worst. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It's the worst MCU movie. I don't care what anyone says.
Hot
Trash.
takes.
Trash. Trash.
Then after Guardians 2, we get Thor Ragnarok. It's like Thor and Hulk are the Laurel and Hardy of the MCU, or like The Rock and Kevin Hart of the MCU, and Jeff Goldblum is just the Jeff Goldblum of the MCU.
That's a really good analysis, actually. After that, we have Avengers Infinity War. It's kind of the big first act of the big finale. Messy, but hey, you know what? Stop killing women.
Seriously.
Just stop it.
It's funny because after that, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp, which ends with 2 women disappearing and dying.
Yes, it does. But that movie is great.
Yeah,
he gets great treatment of women otherwise.
It does, yeah. And plus, it's got Randall Park, and he gets small, but then he gets big. Plus, he has a friend this time.
Yeah, it's true. After that, we have Captain Marvel. You want to talk about letting women take charge. Captain Marvel, it's the last of the origin movies. It's not the best of them, but it's super fun. Also, Ben Mendelsohn, boom, baby,
Steals the show.
steals the show.
And then for the final movie, we have
Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, a lot happens. I teared up multiple times. I think Disney
Yeah.
paid me to say this. I don't know.
Yeah, we must be on the take. It's such an impressive feat to wrap up a 11-year journey and a 22 movie journey. You know, it's so impressive.
Yeah, it's got like
it's
some
incredible.
Yeah, it's got some cheesy bits here and there, but it does a pretty impossible task, and it does it well.
There's like 2 bad things about it, and one of them is killing women again. In the same exact way as in the last one. It's terrible.
Oh, Russo brothers.
Oh, they love that cliff. Now you'll notice that we omitted a few. That would be Winter Soldier, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Black Panther, and the 2 Spider-Man MCU films. If you want to hear our thoughts on those, we actually have full episodes about those. So check us out. We're on the subject. We also usually have a co-host, Logan. He's pretty great.
Yeah, and thanks Heather for having us, and thanks for the stream for the cure. It's a great cause, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
That was amazing. Thank you guys. I am Groot. I mean, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. But to be honest, I haven't seen all of those other films. But what I love about Logan, Malcolm, and Zach is how knowledgeable and passionate they are, and the banter that goes back and forth between them. It is awesome. Question for our live listeners: what's your favorite film, or what have you been watching lately? I know there's been a lot of movie talk throughout Livestream for the Cure so far, which is so awesome. But yeah, let us know in the chat. And what have you been watching, Bandrew?
I have been watching a lot of The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. I'm a big fan. And recently they showed a film, One Cut from the Dead, which is a Japanese horror film or mockumentary. And okay, I see Nick knows about it.
Oh my God, yes.
One of the most enjoyable films I have seen in a very long time. But beside the movie, the Joe Bob Briggs closed out the night with one of the most inspiring speeches I have ever seen or heard. It pierced my cold, dead heart and made me want to make a movie, and I've never wanted to make a movie before. That's how inspiring it was. I was going to go buy a movie camera, and it was amazing. So the film in conjunction with that. But I also recently saw the film Heathers, and that's a film that I have seen the box for decades and that never got around to watching it. But I saw that on Last Drive-In again, and I don't think that movie could get made today. It was a lot of fun to watch, but shocking stuff. Absolutely insane.
I know that the speech that you're talking about inspired you, and you recently did a cover of the theme song on your Bandrew Plays channel on YouTube. It's a place where my favorite music hangs out. I love your originals.
Thank you.
But also, on the note of Heathers, I own that on DVD for reasons. It's been a while since I've watched it, but I haven't had a super amount of time for films lately. One that I did catch recently was called Finding Your Feet, and it was from 2017. It's a really heartwarming, charming film. It's got a cancer story in it, but it's a feel-good one, and it's got Joanna Lumley and Timothy Spall, who does an amazing job as the lovable and quirky Charlie. And yeah, I reckon it's well worth a watch.
I'm going to just drop some love over here for some more donations. We have officially, or a few minutes ago, I should say, we officially crossed over the $8,000 mark because of a donation from Liberty Dude, $17.75, $63, and then Adam from Odd Dad Out dropped a $40 donation in there. So we are now at $80.40, plus a special thank you to Alan from Interrupted Tales for that gift sub bomb, 5 gifted subs in the channel. Thank you so much. And to Heather, you beautiful, beautiful person, 1,500 biddies. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're all so amazing. Let's see what everybody in the chat has as a favorite movie and what they've been watching. We have One Cut is dope. One Cut rules. One Cut for the Dead was on my top 10 of 20. So apparently, I'm not alone. Nick also loves One Cut from the Dead.
Oh, yes.
Luke says Anchorman 2. Now, I'm gonna, because he didn't clarify, I am going to assume that Luke's taste is excellent and that is his favorite film of all time. Luke, who's talking, has a favorite film of Anchorman 2. That is incredible. Shocking. I thought he had good taste, but maybe not. We have Ben jumping into chat. Ben, welcome. Thank you so much for all that you do. You are an absolute legend, and I am honored to call you a friend. Keep being you and keep being amazing. Heathers is a classic from Emily Prokop. Emily Prokop! Hey, Emily.
No. Where is she?
Emily Prokop is in here. The Emily Prokop. Heathers. Sorry, go ahead.
Hashtag Emily is amazing.
Yeah,
Hashtag Emily
please
is
get that in there?
amazing.
Please.
A bunch of love for Heathers. Heathers equals peak Winona. Heathers rules. Winona Ryder, end of list. Yeah. So it seems like One Cut from the Dead, Anchorman 2, and Heathers are well loved in the chat. That's incredible. Absolutely amazing.
That's awesome. If we were going to go from an alternative to films, would you say that audio drama, like in podcasting, is a thing that's like an alternative?
Yeah, I think it's a very different medium, but I think it's a nice alternative because with film, this seems very stupid of me to say. One is visual, one is audio based, but the visual doesn't allow your imagination to really run wild. But with audio, it allows you to build these environments in your head. And sometimes that's a lot more immersing than watching a movie. It can really take you to a different world or put you in this entirely different environment. It's a wonderful medium, and I really, really enjoy them. So yeah, I would agree that's a different but similarly enjoyable medium.
Yeah. Well, our very own Logan Noggle is incredibly talented. Not only does he write comics and podcast and do like 10 million other things, but he's also working on an upcoming project called Stuck Listening, and it's an audio drama. Check it out.
I don't think the audio is working.
Oh.
So let me go ahead and double check something. Sorry about that.
That's all right. There's lots of Emily's amazing in the chat. Malcolm said Painter and the Thief is the source. So, Kate said there can only be one Heather. Kate. If you're talking about me, that is. Hey, Danny in the chat. Audio story. Totally love audio storytelling from Ben. 2020 movies available digitally that you've enjoyed: The Vast of Night, Crazy World, The Woman Who Loves Giraffes, The Painter and the Thief, straight up. Thanks, Nick.
Okay, sorry. I got to grab the audio from somewhere really quickly.
That's all right.
We have been live for about 12 and a half hours, Danny. Since 10 o'clock
Holy
Eastern time
smokes.
this morning, and we're going until sometime after midnight, whenever Justin Winters gets tired of hearing me sing.
Well, do you want me to play what I've got, Bandrew, for now? I've got an audio clip that I can play. I did a really terrible cover of Somewhere Over the Rainbow that I could play for all the amazing...
Please, for the love of God. I bet you it's not terrible.
Oh, it really is. It's too much shit.
I have the audio up if you want me to play that. I don't think we'll have I can play the waveform. It may not be in sync, but we can make it work.
Okay, so you're ready with Logan.
I am ready
'Kay.
with Logan. Let me go ahead and share this. I will hit play there and share.
Hello, is anyone out there?
In the not too distant future, the world was laid to waste. From the message boards to the streets, doomsday sayers began to form. What started out as jokes soon turned into prophecies. It turns out there was a little bit of truth in all of it.
If anyone is out there, if you can hear me, this is Ezra Phillips broadcasting on all channels from the K96.3 building.
Here in the ruins, a man takes shelter in what remains of an old broadcasting station. Armed with a stack of discarded radio programs, he will attempt to pass the time until help arrives. If it ever does.
If anyone can hear me, I'm holed up in the old radio station just south of town. I think it's been 3 days now, and I've just about figured out how this recording equipment works. I'll be broadcasting 24/7. If you're out there, please find me.
Hey everybody, I'm Logan Ogle.
And I'm Cody J.
And this is the Stuck Listening Podcast.
Basically, it's a post-apocalyptic variety show.
Join Ezra Phillips, our main character, as he's held up in an old broadcasting station awaiting help.
Searching the looted studio, he finds a box of tapes, despite the rejected stamps.
And no better options.
He decides to listen anyway.
The show features episodes ranging anywhere from radio dramas to shock jocks and interviews, as well as being a satire on the podcast genre itself. So join us as we're all stuck listening.
That was awesome. I can't wait to hear more.
It is going to be incredible. I cannot wait to hear the rest of it.
Should I play the Somewhere Over the Rainbow now?
Yeah, if you want to share that, absolutely. Seems like the consensus is yes, please.
They say that now. They'll be sad.
We'll be saying play it again after.
Can you hear it? It's not the right song. There's no singing. I was like, what? That's just amazing. Ukulele. Oh boy.
In the second half, technical difficulty half hour. The half hour of power.
Oh my goodness. Sorry. Uh-huh.
Alan says, I heard Bandrew was going to match the grand total of donations at the end. Is that right? If only I had that much money, I absolutely would.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where You'll find me somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you did to. Oh why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up with the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you did to. Oh why can't I?
Yes. Yes.
Yay, Heather! Amazing, amazing, amazing.
You guys are all. I'm just gonna do an awkward shortcut here, and
I need to make a phone call.
wait, hang on, wait.
Wait. Okay, yeah. I'm slowly dialing.
No, I'm making a phone call. Wait,
Uh,
you've got to watch the chat.
Let me hang up. Yeah. Ugh. Phone calls. Who wants a phone call anyways? Oh my god, that's a phone call. Oh, hello. It's Bandrew from the Geeks Rising. Live stream for The Cure. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hey, it's Heather. How are you? Big fan,
Who?
by the way.
Who? Oh, Heather. Hey, Heather.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh, hi. Nice to see you. What's that?
The connection's kind of weird because, like, I'm in New Zealand and stuff.
Oh, you want to make a donation? Is that why you're calling? That's kind of my job here. So are you?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Yeah, cool. We'll go ahead and get that processed for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make sure we put that towards our cancer killing robot, kind of like a mix between HAL 9000 and C3PO, and we'll make sure it goes to the right places.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. All right. Bye. I hate phone calls. They're so awkward.
Thank you so much, Heather, for the $100 donation. You're absolutely amazing. And we also got another one in there for $10 from Chris Yaney. Thank you so much for all of your amazing generosity. Oh my God, guys. Wow. I don't even have words.
Words are hard anyway, Nick, and there's so much love and support here. It's incredible. Thank you so much to everyone who's been watching live, who's been chatting, who's been donating. You guys are epic. It is super important, though, to stay hydrated and well-nourished during long events like this. I know that Nick has had some beef jerky and stuff and water. And what are your favorite snacks, Bandrew?
Popcorn. All the popcorn. I love movies, so I eat popcorn way too much. And pizza, popcorn pizza, and please bring them all pronto, along with Pellegrino while we're at it. Pizza, pop, Pellegrino. Oh, thank you. Oh, get out of town. Gosh. Lovely.
How about chips?
Oh, you're going to kill me. You're killing me. Not Vegemite, though. No, Luke.
We
no
just
Vegemite.
hit $8,200 with a donation from Midori Pro. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Midori Pro. Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a bunch of snacks here, so I bought them all pronto. I have to say that I probably need to lay off of them and drop the sugar, like Nick's been doing, which has been incredible. But I know that when I'm struggling with like the uncertainty of the health and well-being of my friends or just really stressful situations, that I can go either way. I can overeat or I can not eat enough. And one of the ways that I try and find a little bit of balance and reconnect with myself and recharge is to take little moments of time in nature, because then I've got the energy to help and be awesome. One of the ways that I do that is like I don't mean that I'm awesome, but I just
You should be aware of how awesome you are. Accept it. Embrace it.
okay. I'm overwhelmed with all the amazingness today, but I like to go for walks. I like to do things really simple and keep it simple, because otherwise it seems too daunting. And whether that be going out for a walk or standing out underneath the night sky and looking up at the stars, or finding something in nature that I can take a photo of, and then it will remind me when like the sun isn't shining or I can't get out amongst it of that amazing stuff and goodness that's out there. And reminding me that the sun will shine again. Speaking of the sunshine, let's take a quick look at the forecast. Where are all of you in the chat tuning in from? There must have been huge variety of places that people have tuned in from, not only the podcasters who are part of it, but people who are in the live chat. I know like all over the States, Ducky in Russia, Australia, New Zealand, heaps of places.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, Ellen.
Alan.
So more donations coming in. Kate from Ignorance Was Bliss, $10. Tourette's Podcast, Ben, $20. Gerald from Two Ps paid $10. He said that should cover the cost of him using the Somewhere Over the Rainbow as a ringtone. So
That's amazing. Thank you all so much.
Orlando, Tacoma, California, Salem, Cincinnati, Florida. And then
I can shut up. I will happily shut up.
wait, guys, I can take care of this on the stream end too. We'll just do one of these, and then there we go. It's all Heather now.
oh, good. Just what I like. Well, the weather forecast, as I said, in the USA, there's all sorts. It's probably quite hot and dry if you're over sort of near the Arizona area, or it's really humid and awful. Stay cool. And yep. In Europe, is it spring? I heard there's been snow in places. Australia is chillier than at Nesky, and New Zealand is cloudy with a chance of meat pies.
Ooh, meat pies.
Whatever the weather, we hope that you all stay safe. And not only is the forecast looking unique, very unique, but we'll have a quick flashback in history for other important events that happened on this day in history. On this day in 1953, Sir Edmund Hillary at the time and Tenzing Norgay reached the summit of Mount Everest, which is pretty cool. And I looked that up, and it was amazing to share that because Edmund Hillary is from New Zealand. And news of their success didn't actually get around to the world till a couple of days later. But yeah, that's one other day that's important.
Yeah, and since there's all this space news because of SpaceX, in 1999, Shuttle Discovery completed its first docking with the International Space Station. But do you know what else is out of this world? Donating to stop cancer. So do it. I'm trying to. I don't know if it's working.
You are crushing it.
Normally I would be, post. Did it go through? I don't think it did. I don't know if it went
There
through.
it is, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is.
$100 from Bandrew
Post.
Scott as well. And post. There it is.
Space Force. Yeah, it's really cool to see all the resurgence in space travel, and I'm loving watching it because I'm a space freak. So today, 1999, Space Shuttle Discovery that is first docking with the International Space Station. That's incredible.
I used to want to go visit the International Space Station when I was a little girl. Like, I love looking at the stars, and I've got a telescope, and I didn't go down the whole astronomy route, but I would have loved to. Yeah. Nick, do we have time for one more song?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Bandrew, for co-hosting Livestream for the Cure with me. And to everyone who was here, it was epic to see you all. You're all amazing. To everyone who donated, there was a crazy amount. It's blew my mind. I just don't even know. But thank you very much. And this is a song that has made one other public appearance. We did an encore for one of the Sunshine Summits. It's the end song, so it's appropriate to round up this event. It sounds a lot better, in my opinion, than my other cover because I had a bit more time to do this one. But this is Still Alive, which is the end song to Portal.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction. Aperture science. We do what we must because we can. For the good of all of us, except the ones who are dead. But there's no sense crying over every mistake. You just keep on trying till you run out of cake. And the science gets done, and you make a neat gun for the people who are still alive. I'm not even angry. I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me and tore me to pieces and threw every piece into a fire. As they burned, it hurt because I was so happy for you. Now these points of data make a beautiful rhyme, and we're out of beta, we're releasing on time. So I'm glad I got burned. Think of all the things we learned for the people who are still alive. Go ahead and leave me. I think I'd prefer to stay inside. Maybe you'll find someone else to help you. Maybe Black Mesa. That was a joke, haha, fat chance. Anyway, this cake is great. It's so delicious and moist. Look at me still talking when there's science to do. When I look out there, it makes me glad I'm not you. I've experiments to run. There is research to be done on the people who are still alive. And believe me, I am still alive. I'm doing science and I'm still alive. I feel fantastic and I'm still alive. While you're dying, I'll be still alive. And when you're dead, I will be still alive. Still alive. Still alive.
Wow. I think it's like the third time I've heard it, I think. I love it every time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
you,
you both. I put it over there in the chat, but guys, seriously, raise the roof. Get some hype going over there. Hashtag Geeks Rising. Put it in the chat because, guys, we're going to give away, because we have to eat a bag of jerky right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give away a bag of jerky right now. So hashtag Geeks Rising if you're interested. Over in the chat, get it over there, and I'll draw the winner at the end of the hour. Please, while they do that, can you guys just let us know where they should go on the web to find all of the amazing content that is produced by Geeks Rising, all the amazing shows that are part of it? You guys are thank you so much. You guys are wonderful. And Heather, you know I absolutely adore you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So you can find everything at geeksrising.com. All very, very simple and straightforward. Links to all the shows and all the websites and the social medias and all the fun stuff.
Wow, you guys are wonderful. And you guys, like, you understand that you guys, with the end of your segment, we have now made more money than we did last year during live stream for the Cure, and we still have a full day and a half of content to go after today.
Wow.
So
it's Nick, can I take a second and say thank you for doing this? This is so incredible, and the undertaking is insane, and it's just amazing to see somebody putting in so much work and doing so much good. So thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Every single person over in the chat, you guys have absolutely been blowing it up over there. Gerald, I'm gonna make you eat this entire piece of jerky in a minute, so you better watch your mouth, boy. Oh my Lord. Thank you guys so much again for joining us for live stream for the Cure. Heather, for doing such an amazing job modding over in the chat. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks.